The whole foundation of human behavior is human perception. What you perceive, what you believe, becomes how you behave. So what we call human society is actually just collective perception made manifest as behavior. So the stadium in which this whole human control is played out is human perception. They've got to get that. That's why we've got all this mass censorship now, because where does perception come from? It comes from your information you receive. You form your perceptions from the information you have. This may be a personal experience, it may be school, it may be a Facebook post, whatever. So the idea now, this is where all this censorship's coming from, is to control the information which forms the perception which dictates the behavior. That's the process that's going on. And so what we have now is a school system that is not there to educate, it's not there to inform, it's there to program perception. And that's why you have such pushback against any children that won't accept the program. Every day you drop your kids off at school, and until you pick them up again, the time in between is constant perceptual programming. And this is done by telling people what to believe and by leaving out anything else that would get them to see the world or the situation or the subject in a different way. And what have I just described? I've just described censorship. That's what censorship is. It's the media saying, this is it, this is how it is, 24/7, repetition. Repetition is one of the greatest forms of mind control, and then excluding anything that would give people another angle, another way of looking at the same situation, because they have to get your perception. And then you've got this smartphones, your Facebooks and your Twitters and all these different things are fiercely censored now. So increasingly, even on social media, the mainstream social media anyway, people are seeing the same information that the media are giving them, the same information that the school system's giving them. What are they likely to do? To believe it's true, simply because that's all they've heard. And this is why the alternative media is so important, and why encouraging our kids to think for themselves, to critically think, and not to believe that just because it comes from authority, it must be true, is so important. Because if you look back through history, one thing you know beyond anything in every culture and every era is that those in authority lie to you. They lie to you constantly, massively, totally. Those in authority, not least politicians, lie to you. The mainstream media lies to you. Okay, once those parameters and understandings are in place, now you know that whatever the authorities say to you, whatever the media says to you, is almost certainly a lie. So your first response is not to believe it, but to look at other sources of information to see if actually it is a lie. They lie on a massive whopper level of lies. In fact, overwhelmingly, what authority tells you is an inversion of the truth. So these are the basic things. And what's interesting to me is how you can see two very clear groups of people. Actually, there's a third, but it's basically two. One is that which does not question, that can be lied to over and over again, that can be told that black is white here and white is black there, same people telling you that, but you don't question why the opposite's being said here to what was said there, because there is no involvement of the conscious mind. This is so important. It's a flow of subconscious programming through to unconscious behavior. So people just do it. They had all the national newspapers, they bought advertising for the whole of the front pages. And this is the funny thing. People think they, like to be streetwise, so they say, Oh, you never believe politicians. Yeah, but they do. Oh, you never believe what the media tell you. So why are you doing it? And so you've got this unconscious programming becoming unconscious behavior. And then you've got the people who do critically think, who do have self-respect, and they intervene in this process, because what's coming out of the subconscious, which is all this programming, do this, do that, believe this, out of all the endless advertising on radio, television, and newspapers, and what they do is they intervene with their conscious mind, and they say, okay, you're telling me to do this, you're telling me to believe this, so now show me the evidence. Show me the evidence, show me the evidence, and if you convince me through the evidence that what you're telling me to do is valid and a good thing for me to do, then I'll do it. But until you reach the point where your evidence, not your mantra, not your propaganda, not your repetition of the same nonsense, when your evidence shows me that it's the right thing to do, then I'll do it. But until then, I ain't doing it. And if you look through history, these first two groups, those that just say, do what they're told without question, and do what they're told because they're frightened of not, those two groups have been responsible for the imposition of every tyranny in history. Because tyrannies are run and dictated by a tiny number compared with the target population. So the mathematics say they cannot impose their will on that level of population. The tyrannies come in because of the acquiescence of the population to the tyranny. And this other group that questions and has the self-respect to say, no, I'm not doing it. No, they are the group, they are the mentality that have ended every tyranny, the only people that can turn this around. And of course, they are the very people who are being targeted by the propaganda because the system knows they're the only people that can bring an end to this.
Help by spreading this message. Share with your friends, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications to stay updated.